Okay, in this video I will give my thoughts about the feeling of wanting to be alone and on the topic around that, because I do have an issue with it, I do have a problem with that as well. So I'll just speak it out, and probably or hopefully some of you can relate or have some other stuff to talk about with that stuff. My honest thought, because I usually like to be alone, do things alone, and do all those other stuff alone. I got a good amount of friends, so they tell me, do you want to can I join? Or not necessarily can I join, but I do stuff and I don't ask them, and they are wondering why, and they are kind of judgmental in that department because they don't want me to do everything alone. But why is it that I can be with them and I have a good time being with them, but I do a bunch of other stuff alone? Do I have a bad social battery? Do I not like to be with a bunch of people? Maybe, we all have our traits, and there are some people that are very outgoing. They are not difficult when it comes to getting new friends, and there are people who are the exact opposite. I would say I am quite in the middle. I do have a social battery, and it's I usually have to warm up when it comes to talking to a bunch of new people or just people in general. Holy shit. Sorry about this. I can crack a bloody egg. And when I have been very social, I am completely drained. I do not have any more energy in my body. And that's one of the reasons why I do early workouts, because throughout the day it takes a certain amount of socializing, because I'm going out or everything, and I get very tired a lot later in the evening. But it's just yeah. So yeah, I am the middle guy, let's say. I don't have the best of socializing traits, and I am dreading every time I need to talk to, let's say, a not a customer, but a person working in the store, let's say, and I have to ask them about etc. And it's of course just scary, and it's not the best, but that's me, and that's something you can definitely work on that, but I haven't, so that's not the best thing. I'm trying to work on it, but it's difficult. It's very difficult because it's so safe being alone, right? It's so safe being in your own environment, and that's also why it's safe when you are with your friends. But it's extremely safe when you are alone, because you can be 100% yourself, and you can just do your thing. You don't get judged on anything. You just do it. I know a lot of people I have been talking to. Many of them are not my friends anymore, and they have asked me, what do you do in your free time? You're not with people, you're not doing this and this and this. And I say, I'm reading books, I am doing this, I am training, I am literally only eating the whole day, and I am, that's mainly what I do. Maybe I'm playing a game, maybe on my phone, or maybe I am watching a series or a movie that I like. And I always get those funny looks like, aren't you going out? Aren't you drinking? Aren't you doing this? Aren't you doing that? And I say no. And they call me weird and just a loser. And I do hear, and I have heard being called those things, and I take those in. I don't really care about those things, but except I just unconsciously, if that's correct, I use it as an argument to not be with people sometimes, because they can't understand me. They don't understand me, and they won't understand me. And that's sort of like one of the things that I have and struggling with. But I do, yeah, I think we can all relate and agree on that it's difficult to meet a bunch of other new friends, and it's scary to go on your first day in college, in school, and meet a bunch of new people, having to get to know them. You don't know them at all. You're afraid they're going to judge you and all that shenanigans. You know, because we are social beings. We're supposed to be social. And with that, it comes a lot of worry that you won't be social. One of the reasons I make this video. And yeah, basically. So, you know, there are people who are not having who don't have a problem with being alone and all this stuff, me included. But sometimes, you know, you have that, I'm single, that's so, but sometimes you have that, oh, I'm at the summer house and I am having a really good time alone. I'm being there alone, listening to Delta Blues, made myself a good dinner, had some dessert as well. And then I am sitting, let's say, outside on the couch, and I'm looking with the music and a view, and I'm just thinking to myself, why didn't I ask any other boys? Why did I say boys? Any other of the boys, my friends. Hey, yeah. I'm not gonna cut this out. By the way, it's a non-edit video. But yeah, you bring the boys, and why didn't I ask them? Why did I? Oh, they're not gonna come. Oh, they're working. Oh, but you all made it. That's an excuse to not ask, because you're afraid of that rejection and all that, and just all that bullshit. But saying to yourself, without even knowing that they are not going to come with you to the cabin, is just an excuse, because you really don't know. You really don't know, and maybe some of your friends actually need to have that sort of vacation. But enough of that. Yeah, I do that, and I think to myself, like, will I be like this forever and such? Because I'm trying to look less and less on social media, like swiping social media, because it's actually not that great for you. And like, but when I have been swiping before, because I was a teenager and I am young, a lot of the people say that you have to be social and have to be successful, and it is kind of true. You have to communicate good and all that stuff. But let's say you want a girlfriend, or I wish I had a girlfriend in that vacation in the summer house. But you have to socialize. You can't just girlfriend. You have to be willing to get to know a person very much deeply, and then eventually girlfriend. But I don't want to do that. Is it a fear of rejection? Maybe. Is it personal things that I have been experiencing in my life? Definitely. But, life is about turning into a new person and always evolving and looking at your past and letting that determine and, sort of direct you in life isn't just the way to go. Maybe a little bit, but it shouldn't be all of the things. But I am struggling with that. I was going to have like a sort of theme, but I realize now that I'm just babbling, I'm just talking, really. I think I'm gonna have a bit more of those as well, just me talking, because it's always nice, and that's one of the reasons I do this, is because it's sort of like therapy. I just get my thoughts out. And that was also the thing I was going to mention. I do all these things because I also don't have, or I don't feel like that I can talk to, or I do have people that I know I can talk to about this stuff, but I also know that it can help other people that are watching. And I also think if I go to a friend of mine with problems of mine, it's not I wouldn't say attractive, but it's not fun to listen to. It's definitely it makes me sound bad. Of course, I would want to help my friend or a person, but immediately I think like, oh, they don't want to hear this. Oh, I got only negative things to say, and therefore they are going to not necessarily leave me, but they are going to think, oh, Elias, negative things, he's gonna complain, and it's not going to be a fun time, and I don't want that. So yeah, it's just a bit of bunch of everything, man. It's just not fun. Not fun. But yeah, I'm definitely going to talk a little bit about those, psychological things, socialized sort of philosophy or whatever you want to call it, because it's actually quite fun to just, talk a bit of back and forth with myself and in front of you guys. But yeah, that's mainly what I wanted to talk about. I mean, it's ending at 13 minutes now, and you probably aren't watching anymore. So I will just end the video here, and this is the vlog of 577. We have managed to come so far. Very proud of myself and you guys for still hanging on to this, I guess. Still subscribing to a guy who's making shitty content, but hey, come on. Come out. I hope you had a good day. I hope you will have a good day. And I will see you tomorrow. It's going to be a 12-hour work shift, so that's not fun, but yeah. Have a smile, have a laugh, and be kind. And I will see you after the shift tomorrow. Take care and goodbye.